which are reasonable, equitable, and sustainable.
Reasonable would mean taking a very severe look at how we've got here and what we need to do with those pensions and how we need to go with that. I believe that allowing the community to take a serious look at how contracting with the unions, not with just the unions, but with how those contracts are put into effect, will help rein in the dollars. Secondarily, if it's equitable, if you're talking about that, we need to be on a needs-based budget. That means starting with asking the question, what do we need? Not going after revenues and assessing it that way when the revenues do not seem to meet those needs. As far as that being equitable, that's going to provide us an opportunity not to build up to the budget and continuously increase while we're bringing in data on a traditional budget scope.
Thank you, Lori, for that question. I think there's varieties of ways of looking at this. I think that we do have to approach it. I think number one, top priority for me will be zero tolerance of any general fund abuse. And I think that's easier said than done. We're looking at it with a fine-tooth comb and looking for waste and duplication. And right now we have a budget shortfall. And how did we get there? And trying to understand ways to change that in the future. There are specific things we can do. We can privatize non-core services. That's worth looking at. And also duplication. We have several departments doing several things, for example, payroll. Why is that being done? That's kind of a waste of services. We can put that money back into core programs. In addition, there's things we can look at, such as car allowances and salaries over $100,000, and a variety of things we can look at to make it fair and equitable and keep a reasonable fiscal budget. Thank you.
In the 8 years that I've been on the city council, we have cut the budgets in this city $140 million. We are at our core presently today in our core services. We need to start looking at the state government for stopping from taking our money. We're going to have a problem this fiscal year and this budget go around because the state is coming after more of our money. We have gone to the core of this city and the services of this city. To become equitable now at this point in time, we've got to make sure we retain our money, and I will fight for that. Equitable means that we provide public safety, we provide infrastructure, and then everything after that is gravy. And if we have to start cutting other services in order to provide those services, we have to. But I'm telling you, we've spent and we saved $140 million in the last 8 years. Now we got a problem because the state's coming after our money.
I believe the councilman brings up a very good point. I think one of the things that we have to do, that we must do, we have to prioritize. Looking at areas of waste and duplication is, it's really a no-brainer. That's things that we have to do. The other thing that we must do is look at pensions. I mean, it's something that all of us are going to have to take a cold hard look at. The unions have already looked at this themselves. The city is looking at it. We've got to look at how do we reform pensions right now. This is another reason why we have to work regionally and have to find solutions at a statewide level, because the money that is coming from the state is a huge problem for us. And being as big a municipality as we are, we have to work in a regional fashion and bringing resources and new revenues into this city.